Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. I am your host, and let's get ready for the live stream. Do you know, it's starting to slowly, even though it's only it finished raining 15 minutes ago. The skies were black, and now all of a sudden that awful rain is passing over and the sun is starting to come out, and I've got some vice beer to drink, and I've got you wonderful people here to join me tonight, and we're going to have some fun and we're going to enjoy it, and absolutely brilliant. So Carl Smith, Paul and Natalie says, and Maggie says, cheers to Jimmy. Absolutely, thank you so very much for all of your wonderful messages, by the way. I'm going to get the beer out first, and I had some wonderful support. He was a great man. Some of you took the time out as well. Some of you took the time out to have a little look at some of the videos me and my late grandfather recorded together, and you left messages, and just absolutely incredible, absolutely fantastic. Cheers to all of you. Stoner Crows. Right. Jonathan, evening. Simon Graham says, hi, Simon. Always a resident evening. I think we got, is that Big Kev up there? Let's have a look. I think there's that big kid. He is. Oh, Simon might have a Prime Minister. Same yellow sign. I had to scroll down to see that one. So I'm okay, Simon Martin, my Prime Minister. I'm okay. Yes, Carl, going to be a good year, I reckon. Evening all, evening Si. All right, Captain Meat, how are you doing? Happy Snooker Eve. I'll be watching. Absolutely. World Championship start tomorrow. Let's raise a glass of Stoner Crow in honor of Simon's granddad. Absolutely. I mean, he wouldn't want me to kind of like dwell on anything, you know. He wouldn't want me to kind of, now's the time to celebrate his life. He had a wonderful life. He really did. He worked hard all his life. He swore when he hit 40 years of age that he was going to have a holiday abroad with his wife, with my nan, every single year, and he did it every single year. Went away to Spain and worked hard for it. Deserve everything he kind of got in life. He made 91. He was in a lot of pain at the end. He was in an awful lot of pain, and he was asking to go. So he had his wish, you know. He had his wish, but he had a great life. He had a great life. So I'm going to celebrate this. We've been celebrating his life all week. It's time to celebrate his life. Yeah. Thank F is Friday, absolutely. Simon, your grandfather's pal. Absolute Captain Meat, yeah, absolutely. Raise and let's have a sip of beer. We Stone the Crows. It's Friday night. I got to be honest with you. I've been looking forward to this all day. Not just the beer, but having a catch up with you guys. Having a proper catch up with you guys. There he is, Big Kev. Big Kev's in. How you doing, Big Kev? Having a proper catch up with you guys. I've been looking forward to it all day. Genuinely all day. Like, I'm looking forward to the Stone Crow. I went and bought some beer. I bought some, I treated myself to some Franciscana Vice beer for tonight. I'm just drinking a couple of old bottles of the little, sorry, this is Aldi, isn't it? Aldi Rheinbacher. Just so we can get into this. But the reason I'm drinking this Rheinbacher stuff first is because the Franciscana, well, that's just going to taste fantastic, isn't it? And I don't want to kind of go the other way around, you know, drink a kind of a funny type of vice beer compared to a Franciscana. Captain Meat, brilliant, thank you. Here's to him. Absolutely grand looking beer there, fantastic. Harry Manny, how you doing, Harry Manny? What's the crisp, says Calvin Dixon. They're all stuff that I bought for review. I've gone through about 6 bags already, and that's like my crisp basket now. I keep topping them up. I did the Takis Blue Heat today, released that video. They were blooming hot. They were hot. Can somebody let me know on the likes? Because, hello, Michael Richards. Hello, Michael Richards. How you doing? Can somebody let me know the likes? Because I'm on StreamYard, and the only thing StreamYard doesn't offer is how many people have liked the stream. So if we can do 100 likes, if we can hit the like button down below, let's go for 100 likes. And if one or two of you can keep me in the know with the likes, I would be much appreciative. Hit the like, absolutely, Matt Attack. Neil Armstrong says, finally got my hands on some of that Thornbridge Kawaka in Little. It was fantastic. It really is. It really is a good beer, isn't it? For that money. Raising a glass of Polly's Melting Rose to you and your granddad. Keep well, Syke. Sobieski! It's lovely when I can put a face to somebody. It's really lovely when I can put a face to somebody. I had a few pints with Sobieski at Brew London last year. Amazing fella. Really, really, really lovely guy. Likes his beer too, which is really cool. Sobieski. Cheers, mate. On the Azvec Stocking Filler Nostalgia Imperial Stout, 12% ABV. One can is all I'll need. Jonathan Watson. You enjoy, mate. You enjoy. It's Friday. Harry Manny says, always queues at Lidl. I'm wearing these glasses because my hair was going in my eyes. Hit the like, guys. Good evening, all. Loads of comments. Loads and loads of comments coming through. Matt Attack said we got 53 likes. William says we got 49, 54. There we go. Do I like Heavily, says Graham Pringle. To be honest, I haven't had it in a long time. I have reviewed it, and I think I liked it. Have a look at the channel. Have a look. I review so many beers. I was only explaining today in a beer review, yet to post a beer review, that I was reviewing a beer from a brewery. Where would that beer be? Be in my fridge, in the main fridge. I was saying I haven't reviewed anything from this brewery, and I checked my YouTube channel. I did something like 9 years ago from this German brewery. It's impossible to be able to keep up with all the beers I review. So when your hair is flowing like the salmon of Cask. Have you used a new hair product? It's just a bit of. I bought some Tesco value shampoo and conditioner, Big Kev. Stu Not Stu, watching from a caravan in Yarmouth for my daughter's 8th birthday. Luckily, the signal is good enough to pop into the Stone Crow. Stu Not Stu, you enjoy, mate. Enjoy your holiday. Great to see you back in the pub, Matty98. I'm glad to be back. To be honest. We went out last week. We went out to celebrate my grandfather's life last Friday. We went out, me and the wife and the 2 kids. We went out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I seen my mate, my Aussie mate, Ronnie. If you're watching, Ronnie, how you doing, mate? I seen him on the train station. We got off and he went to like a sports bar type place, other end of Barry, and we went to Craft Republic. So we bought the kids some donuts. Giant homemade donuts from this homemade donut place. Me and the wife had a couple of craft beers. What did I have? I think I had a Steady Rolling Man from Daya. And my wife had a sour. And then we had something else. And we had a double IPA all before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, then, meeting the family, the rest of the family in Wetherspoons around the corner. So we go around Wetherspoons and they use the app. They're using the blooming app to order beers. And the next thing you know, I'm sipping on my normal Glamorgan ale at 4% because I just finished a double IPA in Wetherspoons in Craft Republic. Next thing you know, my nephew orders me a beer, flipping Leffe. Leffe's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like 6, but whatever. What's Leffe? 6.5, something like that. So of course, me, my dad, and my brother-in-law now, you know, celebrating Jimmy's life, you know, and these Leffes are going down, and me and my brother-in-law we do a kind of like we start having a bit of banter. And whenever we have a bit of banter, it's like drinking banter, family drinking banter. I leant into him, slightly inebriated, and I said, "Are you ready?" I said, "I'm going to take you to the trenches." And he kind of like, he looked at me, and he was starting to drink the red wine, and he was on the red wine. I said, "I'm taking you to the trenches this afternoon." And he said, "Yeah, you've never been able to take me to the trenches," type of thing. And of course, it turned into a bit of a kind of like, he said, after the third or fourth Leffe, he said, "Your eyes," this is me now, he said, "your eyes were rolling round in your head." I think it was in bed by 10 o'clock. And it's only a 20-minute train ride. Literally, it must have been more than 4 Leffes I had. But I can't remember getting on the train. Can't remember going to bed. Can't remember brushing my teeth. One of those days, you know. They even forgot my food. So I had to order curry and chips in Wetherspoons. And then I I told my nephew to get me a blooming golden ale. I said, "I've had enough of this Leffe. It's too strong." Comes back with another Leffe. So I had one of those days last Friday. Instead of doing the Stone Crow, I spent all night drinking blooming Leffe in Wetherspoons. Have you tried Cask Carrying on cheese? Fantastic with a video. Clive, alive, I'll find some. Thank you. I'm so old, I've watched this channel when Science Shorty. Paul Greenwood. Evening Old, Racing a Glass. Ruby, brilliant. Michael Mulder. Cheers, Simon. Thanks for the cracking beer reviews. I took you up on the Thornbridge Cacao recommendation. Have a good Friday. I will. Matthew Hart says hi. ADC says good to see you back in the Stone Crow. Billy McHugh, scan that Rhinebacker barcode into Untapped. It asks you if it's Franciscana or Rhinebacker. Probably the same stuff. Billy McHugh. Now then, this is really interesting because I'm going to be going from the Rhinebacker look over to the Franciscana. So I'll be able to... I got this, another Rhinebacker, then I'm on the good old Franciscana. I'll be able to see if it's the same beer. John Joe McNeil, never caught a live stream before. Hello, John Joe. How you doing, mate? If I had more of a beard going on, he'd be a split of Matt Berry with how his hair looks now with the glasses. Brilliant. I'm missing you, John Joe, John, Paul Poe, Daniel Bale's in. Not heard from you in ages. How you doing, buddy? Miss you all. Daniel Bale is in. Hello, Daniel Bale. Right, do you mind if am I going to tell me this year? Probably. Do you mind if I'll tell you what, I'll read a few names. I'm behind on the comments. Do you mind if I skip through some comments, everyone? Right. Dan W, Tree Dude, Christopher Tate, Paul, Nassie and Maggie, Paul Pal, John, Always a Red. I'll read Always a Red because he's always commenting on my videos. Craft Republic is a fab place. Daniel Bell introduced me to the establishment. Super venue, nice people, all on great beers. Brilliant. Always a Red. Paul, Natty and Maggie again. Jeffrey Pello, Simon Evening All. Open the Beamish. Tree Dude again talking. John. Well, Big Kev's condolences. Simon Celebrate is the perfect word for someone who passed on. Exactly. He's 91. He was 91. Would I take that right now, 91? Of course I would. Of course I would. The way I drink, of course I would. 91. And he drank more than me. This is the thing. He drank more than me, my grandfather. He used to drink like whiskey after whiskey in a night. Coxey Red. Is Goose Island considered decent beer? It's always a little underwhelming when I've tried it. Bought a 12-pack of IPA today from Home Bargains, and again, it doesn't taste that great. It's owned by InBev, I think. It's not the best, but I mean, it depends. It's probably good for the money, but it's not proper. It's not proper craft beer. It's big industrial beer. I'm going to go to the bottom of all these. Oh my goodness me, Michael Richards. Coxey Red. Lidl got some Belgian beers in again. I know it's Parat, £8 for 4. Yes, they do. They have a Dutch and Belgian beer festival at the moment in Lidl. Worth getting some of them beers. Michael Richards. Michael Richards. What a wonderful, 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 wonderful gesture. £50 super chat from Michael Richards. I'm just going to hold my hand. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. Franciscana bar tab on me. That is just incredible. Michael Richards, thank you very much. Much appreciated, mate. Much. It really is. Really, really kind of like no words, man. I got no words. It's just really humbling, man. Really humbling. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. Irish craft beer guy, Alan Mead. Hi, buddy. Hope all is well. Big Kev, snooker prediction. If Ronnie is at 80%, he will win. I got a funny feeling he might have gone over the... I got a funny feeling Ronnie has all of a sudden, and I bet you I eat my words, I think he's gone over the... I think he's struggling with his appetite. He's been doing it for, what, 30 years? I think the youngsters are going to be far too hungry. I think the likes of Selby, he's not a youngster anymore, though. He's 39, Selby. Higgins, wonderful player, over the hill and far away. They talk the talk. I'm going to come back and win. I read it on the BBC today. John Higgins saying he's going to come back to win. He can say that. Of course he can, but he may not. He may not, you know. Right, I'm going to go right down to the comments now, unless we... Scars Music with a £5 super chat, and that says, have you ever been to Barry? Is there a Gavin and Stacey souvenir shop? Love the channel pro. Scars Music. I live in Barry. I live in Barry, so this kind of Barry Island stuff. There's an arcade that's themed on Gavin and Stacey. There's a few gift shops where you can buy some Gavin and Stacey kind of plates and cups and mugs and tea towels and that sort of thing. Thank you for the £5 super chat, Scars Music. Really appreciate it. Liam, evening side condolences. Good to see you back on the live. Drinking Northern Monk Tank Petrol from Tesco. Good beer, Liam. Good beer, the Tank Petrol. I've skipped some comments. There's so many comments coming through. I've had to skip some. Off to get another beer, says Paul, Natalie, and Maggie. Do I like, CC said, do I like Wychwood? They were once a wonderful brewery. When I was drinking Wychwood, and I've meant to talk about this subject for a long time, I'm talking Wychwood from years ago. I'm talking Wychwood Circle Master, Wychwood Goliath, of course, Hobgoblin. They were all type of like itchy eye. They were all fantasy-based beers. They were brilliant. It wasn't just Hobgoblin. You had Goliath, Circle Master, Firecatcher, I think another one was called. There was one, I think Black Witch, another one. They used to be, and it wasn't just that they had these kind of fantasy names. They were great. They were blooming great. They really were. Which's beers made me violently ill once, and I've not touched any since. Well, this is the thing. You just don't know anymore, do you? You just don't know anymore. Although, I did have a dry neck by Witchwood last year, and it was £1 a bottle, and it was the best pound I've ever spent on a beer. Witchwood's dry neck, £1 a bottle. You'll never get a better beer for your money. £1 a bottle. Keg of Hawk's Head. Hawk's Moor, sorry, just loaded into the perfect draft. Cheers, everyone. For me, the last few years, Witchwood equals rotten vegetables, says Big Kev. Kind of agree. It's kind of like Marston's now. Marston's Brewery. Marston's, they don't care. I was down your way yesterday, took the Outlaws to some Fagans and then had a walk on Barry Beach. Matt Williams. We were in some Fagans last Saturday, some Fagans. The pub's coming along nice, isn't it? The pub, what's it called? Oh, they're building some Fagans for all of you people around the UK. What have we got here? We got a new member. Golden Soldier has become a new member of the channel. Thank you so very much, Golden Soldier. That's a monthly membership coming in. That is amazing. Hey, Simon, sorry to hear about your grandfather. Honestly, I totally understand. The need for people to want to say sorry to me. But I'm very much in the kind of like celebrating his life stage. I have now for probably, if I'm honest, over a month. He wasn't well. He wasn't well. He was asking to go in the end. So I've been in that kind of little bit of grieving to begin with, but celebrate his life now. Look back at the fantastic jokes he told and all of the wonderful stuff he did. He always looked after it. He looked after his great grandkids in the end. It was kind of like he had them in the afternoons, well into his 80s, taking them up into the woods, making bows and arrows and stuff with them in his 80s. He's a wonderful man. Yeah, no need to say sorry to me tonight, honestly. No need to say sorry. We're absolutely kind of in the celebrate of his life stage. Coxie, wrecked, same old story. Small breweries produce good beer, get popular, then change the recipe to produce a larger amount of beer at a cheap price. This is the problem. This is why I will not jump on board with a brewery anymore and rave about their products. Because I've been disappointed so many times. So many times when you think this brewery is going to change the world. They're going to change the way the mass public think about drinking beer. And all they do, they just mellow out into the mass-produced public and they just make beers for the mass-produced public. What I want a brewery to do is to get the mass-produced public drinking beer drinkers to bend to their needs. Bend to the brewery's beers. Not the other way round. There's enough rubbish beer out there, isn't there? We don't need any more rubbish beer. We need a brewery to grow and become a great big brewery, but to produce the quality that us craft beer drinkers know and love. And then that will be a revelation, won't it? That will be a complete revelation. I find it boring now when you see your beaver towns and to a certain extent your Thornbridge. Definitely Brewdog. It's really boring when you think that these people wanted to change the world in beer and you go along on that journey and they end up buckling and bending to the mass-produced wishy-washy kind of beers that everybody watches food stuff on the telly, don't they? everybody watches some woman talking about soggy bottoms and how to make the perfect pie. But you never ever see a program, do you, about how to make the perfect beer, how to make the perfect stout, how to make the perfect porter, the perfect vice beer, the perfect best bitter. There's not enough out there. There's not enough out there. And there never will be. The sad thing is there never will be. I had dreams early on. I had great visions with this channel. I wanted to drum up. I thought to myself, if there's channels with millions of subscribers where people simply watch people play computer games, then there should be a beer channel out there with millions of subscribers talking about beer. Millions of people drink beer. Not the case. Absolutely not the case. There simply isn't the interest. My initial idea was to try and grow a massive YouTube channel centered around beer, and then, of course, stick with a great beer and show people, tell the story of great beer. But nobody's interested. I've been going now 12, 13 years, and in that 13 years, I've amassed 63,000 subscribers. At that rate, I'm going to be at the end of my time, aren't I? And I'll have about 200,000 subscribers. And that'll be it, done and dusted. Done and dusted, I'll be gone. Everybody will forget about beer again. And you know, there needs to be, not necessarily me, there needs to be a voice. I've been saying it for years and years and years. There needs to be a voice in beer. I've spoken to brewers about the need for a voice in beer. They don't get it. They don't get it. Whenever I do a collaboration with a brewery, whenever I talk to a brewery about this very subject, they're like, yeah, but you got brewers talking about, you know, like Garrett Oliver's. And I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the point. People will not watch and take somebody like Garrett Oliver seriously because he's the face of a brewer. They will think he has a secret agenda to push his own beers, to push his own brewery's beers. You need an independent voice away from the brewery, not your Dogfish head man, your Sam Coloni, whatever his name is, not your Garrett Oliver's. You need an independent voice from an independent person to be able to push beer. It'll never happen. Not in a million years will it happen. Everybody wants to make a pork pie with a soggy bottom crust on it and make the perfect roast dinner and food. It's never alcoholic drinks, is it? Or maybe you might get the odd wine, but you'll never get beer in the limelight. And that was my dream. That was my dream with this channel, to get beer in the limelight. Best supermarket for craft beers selection at the moment, lad. Well, if I was going for a personal drink, not reviewing, a personal drink, this might sound really like, ooh, you know, posh supermarket. Marks and Spencer. If I'm going for a drink, bottles of Paulaner Weiss beer, bottles of Paulaner Munich Hell's Lager, couple of decent IPAs. You got Polly's Brew Co in there as well. Polly's, they got a really good selection of craft beer. It's expensive though. Tree Dude, I like that. Gaza, there. Hi Simon, have you tried Vocation Crew Hour lately? The reviews have beverage, but I think they have tweaked it for the better because it tastes fantastic. I've not had it, to be honest. Buy the Ninja Outdoor Wood Fire Grill. We'll do okay on the channel. That's a good idea. Ninja Outdoor Wood Fire Grill. Martin Plunge is 16 points in. Well done, Martin. You enjoy, mate. Great vision, that is, man, says Admin. Vice Stefano have Vice beer is my favourite. They're easy to obtain, £2.20 or something. From Sainsbury, it is divine. Oh, Paul, Natalie, and Maggie. Totally agree. Lovely beer. Captain Meat says, Simon, the problem is the TV channels don't have one beer TV show on it, and it's wine. Beer is British, and we're not proud of it. Captain Meat, I totally agree with you. Tried to do it on YouTube, though. I've tried my best. Absolutely tried my best. Prefer the TV and a carrot over truth and beer. Mac AK, yeah. I just absolutely no interest. Absolutely no interest in gossip and drama, and not interested. Not interested at all. I'm here to talk about the good of beer. I'm here to talk about the good of beer. I'm here to talk to you guys about beer and having fun. It's Friday night and it's a virtual pub, and let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Let's stay focused, positive. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. I don't need to hear about drama on YouTube. It's Friday night. I'm going to raise a glass. I'm going to drink this. Enjoy this. It's Friday night. I don't want any drama. No drama. Let's have a beer. Let's have some fun. It's Friday. Oh, lovely. Right. Here we go. So this is my last Rheinbacher Weiss beer. Apparently, if you put the QR code, the barcode into Untapped, it comes out as Franciscana. Is it the same beer? Oh, it's Sikh New Year. Mark Digworth says it's Sikh New Year. Well done, man. Happy New Year to all the wonderful Sikh people out there. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's have a beer together. The washing machine's on ice spin. Can you hear it? Here he is. Hazy haze. Hazy haze. He says it's beer o'clock. Let's have it. Let's have it. Steve Jeffrey says, well said. Of course, well said. It's Friday. It's Friday. Let's have some fun, man. Sorry, I am organising a stag do in May in Cardiff, where it is good to go for craft beer and ale. Do you know what, John? I'm absolutely ashamed of myself, John. I'm ashamed of myself. I've not been to Cardiff city centre, and I only live 7 miles away. I've not been to Cardiff city centre since Christmas. I went to Honest Burger. Me, the wife, my wife's Italian family who come over. Well, they're British, they're English. They come from Salisbury, but they live in Italy now. They came over at Christmas time, and we went to a place called Honest Burger. I think I had a beer. I had a really nice burger, some fries. But that was like December, like the 27th of December. It was last year. I haven't been to Cardiff in 4 months. 4 months. I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to Cardiff tomorrow. My daughter is going to a cinema bowling thing in Cardiff. So me and the wife, we decided, because she's only 12, we're going to drop her off, and then we're just going to stay around the vicinity, if you like. Stay around the area. I might take the wife to the pub, you know. I might take it to the pub. They got they've got a, what's that chain? Cameron's pub. What's the Cameron's chain? Cameron's Brewery chain. They do like lots of different beers. Oh, somebody comment. What's the Cameron's Brewery pub chain? I'm going to take my wife there anyway tomorrow. We're going to have a couple of pints. All right, Simon. Bingo, bongo, bingo, bingo, bango. Hey, Bebop. How you doing, mate? All fine. Goat Madras. All fine. Absolutely hunky-dory. Took a parcel in for one yesterday. Dropped the parcel off today. Had a chat on the door. Yeah, neighbours are absolutely fine. Cheers, Simon. Having a Stella on the perfect draft. Get a video on beer glassware done. Matt, I've been promising this to you for a long time, haven't I? I've got to do it. What time your first round match tomorrow, Si? Oh, yeah. I promised the first. It won't be this year. Blimey neck, I couldn't even get a long shot in. I played Wednesday. Shocking. I was absolutely shocking Wednesday. My highest break was about 15. Shocking. In the snooker. Yeah, but the QR code sends all your data to treatment. What is your absolute favourite German beer, Simon? Sean Heisler. That is a very, very good question. I've not had it in a number of years, but I remember drinking Weihenstephaner Vitus many moons ago. And I remember it tasting beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I've always thought, in my head, this is fantastic beer, I'm looking for more beer. I got a full glass. I'm like, my glass ain't full. I'm looking around. I'm scavenging bottles. I'm like, is there any beer in the bottom of here? Scavenging already. I'm making sure Mel's down. I'm making sure she's not drinking the good stuff. You drinking the good stuff? You drinking the good stuff? She's got a headache. She's not drinking the good stuff. Watney's Party 7. Oh, that was a beer back in the day, wasn't it? Quite liking the Duke on the perfect draft. Jan, my third keg, and just reminds me of wandering around Amsterdam last year. Also got a Spaten in the fridge. Not tried it yet, but looking forward to it. Thank F, it's Friday, says Tree Dude. Big Kev says Ronnie will be hungry this year as he can make it a record 8 World Championships. Higgins will be there too. The old players are still ruling the sport. Modern players just ain't as committed. I know. It's funny, isn't it? Frank Prost, how you doing, mate? Cozy Rex says, I like the Vice beer, a little import during the Oktoberfest promo. Used to be 99p for the great Vice beer, now £1.29. Totally agree. In the kind of like the sky blue can. For the money, for the £1.29 you pay for that beer, I buy it. I just pretend I'm in a cash and carry. And I pick up, for that money, £1.29, I'll pick up a case. Put a case in the trolley. Whole, how many cans? Something like 18 cans, I think, in a tray. For that money, you can't go wrong. And it's pretty tidy stuff. Coxie wrecked. Hazy Haze, interesting site. Maybe some same beer, different label, like supermarket own brand. I tell you what, guys, open up Untapped and scan the barcode. Open up Untapped, scan that barcode with your barcode scanner. Tell me what it's producing. Is it producing Rhineback beer or Francis Cannon Weiss beer? You all done it? I can't stand here forever. Butcher Bennion, what is your favourite TV series this year and why is it The Last of Us? No. I tell you what I'm really enjoying. So I watched the 2 series of White Lotus and I thought that was like incredibly like, it was erotic, wasn't it? It was erotic and it was kind of fun and it was good. And the old MILF was in there. What's her name? The old MILF? Jennifer Coolidge or something. She's still got a way about her, hasn't she? Old Jennifer Coolidge. She's the old MILF from American Pie. Yeah, White Lotus. I watched White Lotus. That's quite good. I tell you what I'm watching at the moment, which is incredible. Slow Horses. Apple. What's his name? He's a brilliant actor. His name is on the tip of my tongue. He plays a character like a down and out, like rejected MI5 agent. You know, noodles hanging out of his mouth when he goes to the Chinese, dirty clothes. I can't think of his blooming. I can't think of his real name, and I can't think of his name in the blooming series either. John is in the King William and Barry. Brilliant. The Billy. Good evening, Simon. How you getting on this week, mate? Rob, absolutely wonderful, mate. Absolutely wonderful. Honest Burger is stunning. Butcher, yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good burgers. Like to see you do some vegan. Good, Simon, my old spanner. Vegan. Goat Madras. I got some. I got contacted by a company. They sent me some curries. I just need to buy some chicken. Some diced chicken. What I'm thinking of doing, very lazily of me, you can buy the diced chicken in Iceland, frozen. I was going to buy some of that. So they sent me these pouches, these curry pouches. Can anybody remember during the situation, I had a takeaway company contact me and say we're sending takeaways all the way through the UK. And they sent me like foil tray curries and they were beautiful. I reviewed it all on the channel. Well, they said they had to stop doing that because they had so much damage. So much was going to waste and they had to refund a load of people and it just didn't work. So they've gone into like packet curries now, ready-made. You just got to stir it in the sauce with your chicken. And I'm thinking if I just get some diced chicken squares, I can do the videos next week of that. Because I've had them a week already and I feel guilty. If I hold on to something as long as that, especially being a fresh food product, I feel guilty. I feel guilty for holding on to it too long. Brax Beer Oxford Gold Ale, 4.6% ABV. Matthew Hat, decent beer. Captain Meat, Simon of Brewdog hit rock bottom with trying to make a tropical wheat beer. Could you imagine a German tropical wheat beer? It's been done, Captain Meat. It's been done. In fact, I reviewed one just yesterday. It's a style of beer called Hopfenweiss. Hopfenweiss. So it's a hoppy Weiss beer. Some of it tastes like TCP. The banana, the clove, and the hops clash. And some of it tastes like TCP. On the other hand, some of it is really blooming good. Brewdog and Weiss-Stefanen did a collaboration about 5 years ago. And that was the hoppy Weiss beer, Hopfenweiss. We got a super chat. We did have a. Where did that go? I've lost the super. We had a super chat there for a second. There it is. So many comments. Dan's under 7-minute beer reviews. $5 super chat. Simon, you inspired me to start my channel on YouTube last June. Keep fighting the good fight. Dan, may I give you some advice? May I give you a little bit of advice? Thank you, first and foremost, if I've inspired you to open a beer channel on YouTube. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. I'm going to give you some advice. We all know these days how competitive it is on YouTube. And it's public knowledge now. Everybody knows now that if you make a video shorter than 8 minutes on YouTube, you will not get that middle ad in the middle of your YouTube video. That, if you watch an advert at the beginning, the middle, and the end, if you don't get that middle advert in, that's a third of your income gone. So while your channel is still young, first and foremost, if you're doing this for fun, leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. Bingo, bango, job done. Leave it as it is. If you're doing it for fun. If you're doing it in regards to trying to make a living out of it, then you need to make your beer reviews 8 minutes or longer to be able to get that middle ad in the video. Now, some of you might, talking business on you. Some of you might not be overly pleased with this. Some of you might criticize me for this, but at the end of the day, it's business, isn't it? It's business. It's survival. It's getting by. It's riding around an old Fiat Punto like I do with a broken turbo and a timing belt that needs changing and old cars that blow up, and it's scraping by type of business, but you can make a business out of it. But that middle advert, Dan's under 7-minute beer reviews, it might make all the difference to you. Just a little bit of advice, because you give me that wonderful $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Loads and loads and loads and loads of comments. Hey, Real Ale Craft Beer, what was the outcome with the situation and the so-called Mr. Steady Hands? What I want to say on this subject, Mr. Steady Hands, what's the situation? And okay, maybe we don't comment too much on it because there's 2 in a row now. How are you getting on with the soil dump? Maybe we just say that I'm a very patient person. And I can just be patient. There will be future videos. I'm asking you guys to be patient now. There will be future videos. A nature garden for the community. Smash the like button all for a new turbo on the Punto. Oh, Lee W. I know. It's to be honest with you, the car cost me 500 quid. I've already had 2 months out of it. Put the diesel in. It goes, it runs. I've had 2 months out of it. The way I look at it is, if I was to hire a car, how much would that cost me? How much would that cost me if I hired a car for 2 months? God knows. Yeah, Jack Flower. I know you got to be careful, haven't you? Jack Flower. Yeah, yeah. The council's working for being 10 to 8 on a Friday night. As if. Christine, how you doing, Christine? I think the underground bunker keyword has lost interest with the algorithm. Is not happening now. Well, yeah. Heard about Guinness and tomato juice and tried it today. The Nathan 1818. Is it good? Is it good? Guinness and tomato juice. Is it good? Oh. What I will say is that it's 10 to 8. I'm standing here 10 to 8. It's light. It's light. I haven't got to put the lights on yet. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's lovely. All's good. All's good. We're into that wonderful phase of spring where it's lovely and light. It's warming up. It wasn't that long ago. This room was an ice box. Not an Xbox, an ice box. This place, if you remember, I'd have my padded jacket on and I'd be like this, doing a live stream, freezing cold, and I'd have that heater on down there that wasn't doing much, and the cold was coming through my shoes into my feet. It was freezing cold out here. Block on flat concrete walls, glass roof, stone walls everywhere else. This place was like an ice box. The sun never hits this in the winter. Freezing. Like, you know that awful cold that bites into your bones? Now, I'm a bit like this, you know? I'm a bit like this now. April. It's so much warmer. Sunglasses are on. Happy days. I'm much more of a spring, summer, autumn type of person than I am a winter person. As much as I started the year, if you remember rightly, some of you guys, as much as I started the year saying, this year is going to be about positivity and we're going to be as positive, and I was, don't get me wrong, I was. There was times when it was raining last week. There was times when it was raining an hour ago, 2 hours ago, that I was like this. When is this winter going to end? When are we going to get some nice weather where I can put my pink blooming shorts back on? I want to put the shorts on. This time last year, I was in shorts and flip-flops. It's like winter's going on forever this year. I once bought a Saxo for 500 quid and it lasted a whole year before it exploded, and a hire car for 2 months for £600. Seriously. Absolutely right. Christine, this is my point. This is my very point to my wife. And I tell her, we got a car for 500 quid. If we get 6 months out of the damn thing, 6 months, we've had a steal. And that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. I've been on these websites where they want £350 a month for a car. I don't drive a car that much for £350 a month. And I don't have a desire. I don't have a desire to drive a car for paying £350 a month for a car. I simply do not have that desire. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The only reason I have a car is for a school run. It's just the school run. If I didn't have the school run, I wouldn't have a car. I'd probably miss my trips round Lidl and Aldi. But I could get by with a little help from my friend. I've always lived on the cheap. I've always lived way within my means. I've been there. I've been there. I've been 2 houses, nearly buying a third house, finance on a car. I've been there. The stress of it all. The stress of all that. Absolutely no way. No way. Watching every single pound, every single penny, every single pound, every month. I've been there. What I did, I binned off the car finance, binned off my buy-to-lets, binned them off. Never made a penny. In fact, if anybody tells you you can make money in property, I tell you what, you can lose money in property as well. I lost money. I bought a house in 2006, rented it for 10 years, and I sold it for less than what I bought the damn thing for. And I had all the grief that goes with renting houses. Police smashing down your front door. All of it. Gas meters stolen. I went in the house one day. The tenants had left. They'd done a runner. I had that happen to me 4 times. 4 tenants do a runner in 10 years. That's nearly once every other year, isn't it? No, once every 2 years, someone did a runner. I went in, you know, the terraced house. It was only a terraced house. You know, the gas meter cupboards in the corner of the terraced house. I go in, first thing I thought, right, knock the gas off. I go in, I open the cupboard doors, and there's something weird, yeah? Something really weird. I just turn the tap. I turned the tap. And as I did, I realised the gas meter got stolen. Turns out, years later, spoke to the tenant in the pub. And I said, why did you steal my gas meter? I said, I don't care. I said, you know, I've got no beef with you now. I'm past it. I said, but why did you steal my gas meter? He had a pint in his hand, staggering. He went, I ran up too much of a bill. So I took it off and chucked it in Barry Dock. Chucked it in the dock. The gas meter. You couldn't make it up. So there's a gas meter from one of my previous houses in Barry Dock. Got shot of it. Too much stress. Had a phone call Boxing Day one day. Can't open my curtains properly. There's something wrong with the curtain pole. Like, it's Boxing Day. Direct line to your phone on Boxing Day morning. They can't open their curtains properly. There's a problem with the curtain pole. And I didn't put the curtain pole up. They did. They put the curtain pole up. I was like, no. That was the moment when I went, yeah, I'm getting out of this game. This is a silly game. And then all of a sudden, you had to have like landlord certificates and all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is way too more silly than it's worth. I flogged the damn thing for less than I bought the damn thing for. Hi, Simon. Hope you're well. Love the reviews, and they were a great help as I got into craft beer. Enjoyed a whole garden tonight. Lee McBurney. So all this happened while I was doing the reviews. Never showed it on the channel. Never ever showed it. All this was going on probably 2016. Ceilings falling down, like ceilings on the floor. People phoning me up. Oh, I put a tumble dryer in my dining room and I didn't put the hose on, the exhaust on the tumble dryer, but your ceiling's fallen down. And I'm like, well, the ceiling's fallen down because you put a tumble dryer in the dining room and all the steam's going up all over the ceiling. That's the reason why the 100-year-old laughing plaster ceiling's falling on top of you, is because you put a tumble dryer in your dining room with no exhaust on it. It's like, no, don't be a landlord. Don't be a landlord. It's probably, I don't know, what's the time now? It's 8 o'clock now, probably 8:05. 8:05, John. Mark S has requested that I talk about what temperature to drink beer at. This time of year, Mark S, what is it now? Hands are a bit chilly. It's probably about 10 degrees out there. Starting to push it now. But I got 4 bottles of Francis Carter just sitting on the counter. And I'll just open them and drink them at 10 degrees. I think it's perfect. About perfect. Anywhere over 4 degrees, I like to drink my beer. When it starts to get to 12, 13, it gets a bit warm then, and I start to put it in the fridge. But this time of year, it's a blessing. It is. I moan about the cold, but when October time comes and it starts getting cold in here again, I'm like, right, the ice box is ready, and I just store all my beer. I have beers all across the bar, and I have them about 10 degrees. Happy 10 to 8, Mr. Simon. Saxophone. Love this time of year. John, absolute favourite time of year. Right, strangers getting dark now. And you're in, yeah. Guinness and tomato juice sounds like something very happy from now until the end of September. John, absolutely. Love it. Do you actually do YouTube videos in morning on beer or just post them in morning? Goat Madras. I've stopped telling my viewers when I drink beer now because I was having so much aggro. I was having so many people, oh, you're drinking in the morning. You know, I've stopped saying when I drink beer now because just it's too much aggro. Too much. You have people emailing you. This is Dr. Sullivan like type of thing. They want to give you a health check or whatever. Decent in a bloody May. Right, I'm behind with the comments here. Pezzy P, absolutely doing 20 press-ups in the Stone Crow. Roy, hey ho, Simon just bought 20 earring of ice beers, 99 cents per bottle. Happy weekend. Roy, did you see, Roy, that I did the bottle of chili sauce that you sent me? Whew, that was hot. I had some Burger King chili heatwave chicken things, and I dipped them in there. Roy, I did it. Alistair Moore, Slow Horses is ace, isn't it? What's his blooming name? Gary Oldman, yeah. So we're that far behind, are we? Maybe I should skip a bit. Nice tomorrow for the Grand National. I'm going to skip a few comments. Quite a few, actually. Wow. Jordan, I totally agree with you. How is it? Oh, still daylight here. I'm in London. It's almost. It is. Look, I'll show you. Have a look. Look there. Look there. Blue skies above. The thing is with Wales, we're on the west coast, aren't we? So it's daylight. It's daylight out here. Rains all the time, but it's daylight. Got a word in for a 17 brewery, 17 pub tap takeover tomorrow. Simon Latham. Looking forward to Daya, Beer No Evil, downloads, and many more. People should get there if they can. Lots of people coming. Right, my beer's in. Hey, Paul. Paul, how you doing, man? Paul and Michelle. Absolutely cool. Thanks for dropping by. Yes, I'm on. I'm going to be on Francis Carr, my favourite beer. One of my favourite beers. Do you know? I thought of something today. I watched the YouTube channel. Talking to you now, Paul. Rate my beer. I watched a YouTube channel today where it was Sky Football, and Gary Neville's got this series, and it's called The Overlap. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I've seen my first one today, and he interviewed Jamie Carragher walking through Liverpool, but proper Liverpool, you know, not all the fancy areas, proper flipping Liverpool, mattresses everywhere, shopping trolleys in the lanes, you know, they went through the flipping, you know, proper Liverpool type of thing. And I was thinking to myself, they went to the cafes, and they went to and they were just having a stroll around and I thought to myself, there's a series right there. Where I drop by other beer reviewers and I just go, oh, of course, you'd have to give me an address, but I just kind of, and then I could come and have a drink in your bar and we have a general chat and a couple of beer reviews. There's a series right there, isn't it? I could go to Crummy Beard, drop by his bar, have a beer in his bar. I could come to you, rate my beer, have a beer in your bar, interview, talk to you about, you know, your life and what you get up to, and not just a beer review, but the person behind the beer review. That sort of thing. Who else could I stop by? I know Hopsine. Hopsine's a mate of mine. Paul's beer reviews in London. Pop by, say hello to Paul in his bar. Who else can we? Who else? There's loads now, isn't there? Bullman's, pop by, you know, have a pint with Bullman type of thing. I think that would be a really good series. Real ale craft beer interviews, you know, Bullman's beer, rate my beer, all these other beer. I think it'd be great. But I was watching that Gary Neville, The Overlap, today, and I thought that's a really good idea. I used to work for an estate agent that dealt with rentals. Can't say I miss it. Both the tenants and the staff were see you next Tuesday. Unbelievable. Liam, unbelievable. Some poor magnet fishing in Barry Dock would be thinking, God sake. And then the meter, hazy. It's unbelievable. Do you know what? I'll tell you another story about renting. Let me tell you another story about renting. I used an agent once. And they did the checks on the house when the tenant left. And they said, the tenant's gone. We noticed some stains on the hallway carpet. I was like, oh, right, okay. They said, well, we're giving their bond back. And I was like, oh, well, why did you do that? And they said, oh, because they dropped a roll of carpet in the hallway of the estate agents. And I turned round and I looked at this roll of carpet. And do you know, you can go into charity shops and stuff, and you can buy like a rug, literally a tiny rolled up rug. They literally bought an offcut of carpet that wouldn't even do like half a metre by flipping 2 meters. And I turned around to these things and I said, I can tell you right now that roll of carpet is not going to fit in my hallway. And what, you want me to go and fit it? I was like, just absolute. I never used that. I never used them people again, ever again. I was like, you absolute imbeciles. I was furious. Because the thing is, you can put a carpet down and you've got to change it every time. If there's a tenant, they want a 6-week let. You can guarantee guarantee it. 6 weeks, way too long. Too long for a tenant. Too long for a tenant. They're stained. Oh, I've never had a good one. Never in 10 years of renting a house. I've never had a good tenant. And my apologies if you rent. My apologies if there's people out there who are watching tonight and they rent and they really look after their place and they really, they treat it like this their own place. I apologise if you're one of those lovely people, but you're few and far between. I tell you what, you are few and far between, you decent people out there. What's the best-selling beer you've collaborated on? Waiting for your destination double IPA. Salivating. Neil Smith, it's out. Neil Smith, it's out, mate. It's on YouTube. I've reviewed it. Have a look. Josh Hughes with a £5 super chat. Friday, beer o'clock. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Josh Hughes, for the £5 super chat. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm drinking a Ooze beer in Mercia. What about you guys? I'm drinking a Weiss beer. It's funny, isn't it? Still, I'm about to put the lights on. I am about to put the lights on. It is about to get very dark very quickly. I've got to be honest, this iPhone is working a treat. Stone the Crows, I am in a homeless hostel just now, so I can only have pints in restaurants just now. Had a pint of tenants 2 nights ago. Silver JJ, oh man, I feel for you, man. I feel for you. What an awful thing. What an awful blooming thing. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. I know you like Hofmeister beer, but where's best place to buy it? Says Ghost Madras. Hofmeister? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe have a look on their website where their suppliers are. Dan's under 7-minute beer reviews. I'm waiting on the Allagash Brewery tasting later over here in Philadelphia. Cool. Philadelphia. I'd love to go there. Gonna fly now. Be up them steps, I would. Flying high now. I'll be up at top. Breathing heavy when I get up the top. Eric Grinland said it's bright. It's almost like the afternoon here. Cheers, everyone. Was in Swansea last weekend and followed your craft beer guide of Swansea. Beer Riff, very good. Founders and Co, very good. No Sign Bar, brilliant. The Griffin, even squeezed the Guinness in the Cross Keys Inn. Brilliant, man. David Fowler, brilliant. Wales must be in a different time zone. It's dark in Kent, says Tree Dude. Tommy Gabriel. Is it dark in London, Tommy? He's in Dorset on holiday. Cool. Very cool. Evening, everybody. Have a nice weekend, says Jess. Brian. Hello, Brian. Brian, I'm going to say, before I read your super chat, I've not read your super chat yet. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I haven't read it yet. But I want to thank you, Brian, for the wonderful comments you leave on the channel. You've been watching a load of my videos, I can see. And you comment, just a really consistent kind of lovely comments coming through on a daily basis. And I just want to say, before I read your super chat, thank you very much for the comments, the really nice comments coming through on a daily basis. Honestly, when you get someone like Brian watching, it makes your flipping day. It makes your life so much easier when you got a real decent person commenting decent comments on a daily basis. Years ago, you tried streaming. How about live? Brian, no chance, man. Absolutely no chance. Oh my goodness me. No way. But thank you for the super chat anyway. Still at work. Can't wait to get home and tuck into my Meister fan. And well done, Joel. Well done. These glasses are biting into my side of my head. How many cans of beer was your record drinking in one day? Jordan, or it's got to be a beer festival. It's got to be a beer. I went to Belgium. And we were asked one day to turn up at 8:30 at a conference, and it was a tasting 8:30 in the morning. Belgians, they didn't bat an eyelid. 8:30 in the morning, tasting. 8:30, do the tasting. Then you go into another part of the conference. European Beer Bloggers Conference it was, in Brussels, about 8 years ago. 8:30 in the morning. And it went another conference. Next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock at night. And you're like, heck, I've been drinking for what's that, 13? What's that? 8:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Is that 12 and a half hours drinking? Yeah, go to Belgium. They'll show you. The Belgians will show you how to drink. My goodness me. I think I had yellow pupils coming back from that trip. Lights are going on, guys. It is getting dark very fast. Okay, Google. Turn on the conservatory lights. All right, what else can we turn on? There's a light over here. Turn that one on. There we are. Here we are. The lights are on. Not bad, though, here. What, 8:15? 8:15 and the lights are on. The bar's lit at the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. A month ago, what, 7 o'clock? Starting the live stream. Dark. Well, I'm going to go and have a wee. I need to go and have a wee. And then I'm going to open up a Franciscana Weiss beer. Here we go then. We've still got 260 people in. at the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. Absolutely fantastic. The Hog says, Stone the Crow, good evening. I got the hiccups. Right. Bottle of Francis Carter. Yeah. You gotta love it, haven't you? Gotta love it. I absolutely, you know. Love one of my biggest things, because I get messages all week. One of my biggest things about doing the Stone Crow, and the reason why I do it, and the reason why I enjoy doing it, is because I get messages, I get emails, and I get messages from you lovely people during the week saying, looking forward to the Stone Crow. It's great. It makes my Friday. And if it makes your Friday, then it makes my Friday. Because the only real reason I'm doing this is to put a smile on you lovely people's faces. I've been in such a good mood doing this. Well, what is it now? 1 hour 20. We've laughed, we've joked. Okay, I've talked about my rental thing, but that was only in like telling a story. It wasn't exactly like me standing here kind of overly moaning, because that was my past. That's gone. That's gone. I've moved on, you know. I've moved on. Always focus on smiling in life. Always focus on the good things in life. All the stuff that happens in your life that's negative and is bad, just put it to one side. I know that might sound very easy, and it might sound like, oh yeah, just flip. I know it's more difficult for others, but try your best. Try your best. I know that sounds awful. Actually, I'm going to retract that. That sounds awful, because there are people out there. They are literally trying their best, and you know, they're locked in a cycle of you know, they have to have tablets for their kind of like, you know. I know, I see, and I've been there myself. I've been in I've been in my. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm very much like making sure my daughter was up there, making sure she don't hear me. Previous stuff to before she was born. Making sure she's gone out of her bedroom window. She don't want to hear that. She don't want to hear about my previous life, you know. But I went through a stage. where I was really unhappy all of the flipping time. And nothing, when you're in that stage of your life, nothing can break it. So as much as I'm standing here now saying, yeah, smile, you know, happy days, you know, la-di-da-di-da. For some people, it's impossible. It's absolutely, and I totally understand that. And mine was to do with divorce. My situation, my bad health, my bad mental health was to do with divorce. A bad one, not a nice one, a bad one. And luckily for me, I got out the other side. And I'm okay to stand here now and smile and say, you know, and that's why I'm like I am. I learned a very important lesson at that stage of my life. And that is, and it only works for me, it may not work for you. I'm just telling you what worked for me. Monty Python. Do you know if you're ever having a bit of a bad moment, because we're only human, put on that Monty Python song. You know, the one that tells you about the world spinning at 50,000 billion miles per hour, and it could all end in a flash anyway, and take every day as it comes, and all that. There's so much truth in that. That's what I do. I'll put on a Monty Python song, turn it up full blast, and I'll just try and snap myself out of it. But I'm always, whenever I do a live stream, I'm always smiling. I'm always happy, and I want positivity from life. When you come here, when you guys choose to tune into me on your hard-earned Friday night, I want to put a smile on your face. Oh, sorry, Big Kev saying StreamYard's not very good. This guy goes into gangs. Oh, mine's up, like saying. Christina, that's an opto. I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch it. John with a £5 super chat. Sorry, you sent me your address a couple of years back on Facebook, so we'll send you some beers to review from my local breweries. Time and Tide and Flock. John, first and foremost, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Thank you. And if you want to send me some beers, absolutely perfect. That would be lovely. I will prioritise them. I'll get them out there. I get some beers by some breweries. But what I do is that when people send me their beers with their hard-earned cash, I always prioritise the beers that were sent with their hard-earned cash. Always around. Right, I'm going to skip. I got another load of comments. Wow, you guys are brilliant. You guys are absolutely brilliant. So many comments coming through. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, Stephen Ball's in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How you doing, Stephen? I know it's skipping through then with my thumb, probably going through 50 comments at a time. And as you stopped, there was your comment, Stephen Ball. You're there, man. Stephen Jeffrey with the £10 super chat. Simon, have a drink on me and for your lovely granddad. Keep up the brilliant work. Love a channel. Stephen Jeffrey, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Stone the Crows. Christine S., I totally understand where you're coming from, being in work in Waitrose. The Galaxy song. That's the one. We all go through crap, but we stand in the crow together. They can try to divide us, yet we stand firm. That's it. Stephen Ball, the Galaxy song. Connor said it as well, the Galaxy song. That's it. Puts everything into bloody perspective. It really does. Puts everything into perspective. Ian says the Rocky speech usually works for me when I'm a bit of a depression spiral about where I am. Ian, I think for me, the Rocky Balboa one, when he talks about poking a finger in your eye, I'm emotional now. The moment I start thinking about that and talking about that, I get emotional myself. That is such a good bloody speech. So when was Rocky Balboa? 2006? The world wants to poke a finger in your eye, that sort of thing. It's not about how hard you hit. What an amazing speech. Because I tell you what, the reason why, so for me, and if you read his books, Sylvester Stallone's books, it was never easy for that guy. Never easy. The first Rocky, they didn't want him. They wanted some Brandon whatever kickboxer, karate guy. They wanted someone else, like a Bruce Lee type, to play Rocky. They didn't want Sylvester Stallone. He was the writer. He insisted. He absolutely insisted that he played Rocky. And it goes, so from what I get, oh, Mel's having a Francis canner. From what I get from it is that between Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa, he never worked. He did that Copland movie, and then literally Hollywood did that with him. Literally, you're never going to work again type of thing. He had to work his nuts off to get anybody to film Rocky Balboa. So when you hear him say that kind of the world wants to poke a finger in your eye and all this kind of it's a personal window into that man's life. It's a very personal. It's not because he's just kind of thought, oh, I'll write that inspirational speech. It's because it's what's happened to him personally. Nobody wanted to work with him. Never had a job for like 15 years. All of a sudden, someone gives him a chance again, and he's able to say, this was my experience in life. Simon, I thought you meant always look on the bright side of from life of Brian Crispy. Well, Simon, you will love Opton. The guy is insane. Reminds me of Andy Kaufman. I'll have to have a look at that. Christine, can you say, I'll forget by the end of the night. Opton, can you send me somehow, either in my latest beer review, just tell me, remember to watch Opton and tell me where to watch it. Whether it's Paramount Plus or Disney Plus or Netflix, or there's so many places to find these. Tell me where to find it and what the place is, what the series is called, and I'll watch it, Christine. Sam K's drinking a Hacksaw wheat beer. Simon is way behind with the comments. Yeah, I am right behind. Sorry, I'm right behind with the comments. You guys have been brilliant tonight. You guys have been absolutely brilliant. Yay! There he is. Neil Long with a £2 super chat. Thank you, Neil, mate. Thank you. And he's put, hi, Simon, nice top. Glen Affrick, do Cask now. That's brilliant. Cask beer. I tell you what, Big Kev's not telling me about the ropes tonight. Normally, Big Kev likes the ropes nice and straight. Oh, no. I like Rocky 2. I'm answering Steve now. Steve said Rocky was great, but he said all right, but the sequels are crap. First Rocky was amazing, Oscar-winning performance, great story. Second movie, the story was a bit wishy-washy, but he kind of like needed to go through that to be able to beat Creed, didn't he? Third one, yeah. Fourth one, good fights. Bad storyline. Fifth one killed his career. The fifth one killed his career. And then, like I said, 16 years to come back and make that last one. No real work in the meantime. Last movie was kind of Copland. That was good. He did a Formula One movie. In maybe the very early 2000s. I can't remember what it was called, but he was a driver that liked to whistle while he was putting his fast laps in. When he was on form and driving really well, he started whistling in his helmet, which is quite bizarre. But that was a Formula One movie with Sylvester Stallone. Sam K, never seen Rocky. Okay, Sam K. Promise me one thing, Sam K. If you do anything, if you have any free time this weekend, to yourself, absolute silence, put Rocky on, sit back. Remember it's from 1976, a million years ago, and sit back and enjoy that movie. sit back and enjoy it. Absolutely fantastic. Big Kev. They go for a rocky patch. Who's the pretty lady hosting tonight? Well, that would be me. Classic, yeah. Connor Jackson, hi Simon. Hope you're well. I'm on the Warsteiner. Enjoy. Simon, I think Copland was a good film. It had a great cast. I haven't seen it in years. Jeffrey, I didn't really kind of get it, if I'm honest. Brian says, okay, I got to ask this group, does anyone watch Mrs. Brown's Boys? I'm in Ohio, and the wife and I find this to be the most hilarious show ever. It was massive, Brian. It was massive 10 years ago. Mrs. Brown's Boys. It was hilarious. It really was. Taking it easy as I have a wedding next week, and I'm a best man. Connor Jackson, you take it easy, my friend. Stephen Jeffrey, Simon just shows what support you have. It's unbelievable support. It really is. It really is unbelievable support. I do go through times. I of course, I'm a human being who runs this channel on my own. I do go through times where I am slightly lonely. I do. Slightly lonely, slightly kind of like, because you're on your own. I review on my own. I'm on my own all day. I go for walks on my own. It's quite, when you run a business, especially from home, kids go to school, wife goes to work. You know, it's not like it's. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, you're doing a very similar thing over and over again. Does that make sense? I'm doing a very similar thing over and over again. And as much as it sounds really easy, really, really, really easy to do, sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I wish I was back at Asda. Sometimes I wish I was back at Asda stacking meat on the shelf. Because what you get in Asda is I used to ride my bike to work, bit of fitness, clock in, a cup of tea with your other 6 o'clock in the morning starters, your veg men who put the veg on the shelves in Asda at 6 o'clock in the morning. Me, the meat man, used to put the chickens out and the beef steaks and the mince and everything. I do it all on my own. All the chicken breasts, everything you've seen in Asda, the meat, I get that out, bang, in the morning. But there's banter. There's jokes. You're meeting people that you're having a joke with the flipping trolley guy, and you're having a laugh with the security guard, and you're having a laugh with the flipping milk people who put the milk out and the cheese, and you get a lot of friends in these places. And Christine mentioned it earlier when she's working in Waitrose, she's happy. I totally understand it. Totally understand it. Because I don't get that. I don't get any of that, to be honest. I chose it. Don't get me wrong. I chose it. It's not like I didn't choose it. And it's not like I'm looking for somebody to get the violin out either. How did we even get here? There's times, there are times where you're on your own all day. You're on your own all day. You're doing the reviews, then you're going for a walk, then you're uploading videos, and then the next thing you know, it's the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. What I'm trying to say is, I like a Friday night. Technically, I'm standing in the same place that I do my beer reviews, talking to the same phone I record my beer reviews in. Look, there I am there. People point out to me all the time that you can see me in the mirror doing the beer reviews, doing the same thing, but with a live audience. And I can see Steve, and I can see GameX, I can see Michael Richards and Christine, I can see Neil Smith and Mark and Alistair and Stephen Bull. Driven. That was it, Stephen Bull. That was it, Driven. And I can see Sam K and Big Kev. Big Kev said he mentioned the hoodie strings earlier. Streamline ain't the best for lives. You're doing great, though. Keep up with the comments. Yeah, there we go. Big Kev, I got the sleeves right. Rate my beer, hit the likes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Where are we with the likes, by the way? How many likes do we have? Can we hit the like button down below? I don't get to see that on StreamYard. Do you not use your beer machines, or has the novelty worn off? I prefer to drink lots of different beers rather than the same one of a week or two. Darren Skiro. Just a simple fact, Darren, that the kegs are just not coming out anymore. They're not in that situation of 2020. We all know the situation. The kegs were coming out every week. Boom, boom, boom. New keg every single week. Different keg, different keg, different keg. The beer machines, fantastic. I mean, I had them, got them, still got my blade. Look, there's the blade lid. Still got my blade. Still got my crups. Still got my perfect draft. But unfortunately, where we seen that drink at home, boom, all the pub shut, kegs out all the time, fantasticness. Equally, now, cost of living thing going on, £35 a keg. It's difficult. They might be even more now, actually. I'm saying £35 a keg when I was buying them in 2000. So, Darren Skiro, I think it's affordability. I think we went through a massive boom. They couldn't make these Phillips Perfect Drafts fast enough. In fact, I had an email off Beerhawk asking me if I don't use my Perfect Draft anymore, can they buy it off me? They wanted to buy my machine off me and sell it on to a customer that would use it, because they could see that I wasn't buying kegs from their website. That's how much of a demand there was. And now it's gone the other way. It's gone completely the other way, where they're not bringing out any new kegs anymore because there's just no demand. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame, because if they made these machines, these Phillips Perfect Draft, as quick, if they had millions of these damn things, then I think this would be a next coffee machine. I think anybody who drank beer, this would be a next coffee machine. It would be like a Krups coffee machine, where a lot of people have one. Whereas it stayed a niche product because they couldn't make the damn things fast enough in the situation. And it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. Even the blade. The blade was offered to cafe bars. It was a cafe bar machine. It was never meant for home use. But Heineken realised in the situation that they could sell a ton of these damn things in the situation, and 2020, and it became a home bar thing. And let's not forget, they were £440 a pop, these beer machines. They weren't cheap. Neil Smith, Rocky sequels are the most misunderstood sequels in history. They're a perfect reflection of how the American dream developed through the 90s and 2000s. Neil Smith, I totally agree with you. Reflects Rocky's journey. But also, Neil Smith. Also, and Sylvester Stallone has admitted this, also his life. So if you watch Rocky Balboa, the last movie where he actually went in the boxing ring, not the Creed movies, but the Rocky Balboa movies, the last one, you know, the trainer, Creed's trainer that now trains Rocky, he mentions you got arthritis, that scene in the movie where he says you got arthritis in your neck and you can't do this anymore and you can't do that anymore and you can't clench your fist, and you're thinking, what can he do? That's because that was a true reflection of that time of Sylvester Stallone's life. He really did have arthritis. He does have arthritis in his neck and all these other things. So whenever you watch the Rocky movie in like number 3, where he talked about something that felt real, it was probably because that was what really was going on in his life. Brilliant. I thought it was great movies. I need some fresh air. The moon landing is a thing. I need to lie down. Tree dude. Thought he moved on to Planet Hollywood restaurants. Well, maybe not. They didn't do very well, did they? Unfortunately. Where are we? Yeah, it's good to be chatting to customers and friends at work. Can't stand it when I'm not working, as people don't talk to each other in the streets anymore. Christine, honestly, I'll go all day. I'll stand it all day. No one comes out in the street. No one goes out in the garden anymore. Honestly, you can go all day. I do. I go all day, literally. I'm happy when the wife comes in from work. Hello, James. Mr. Rampant. How you doing, mate? Yes, just YouTube. William says one more like for 200. One more like for 200. Come on, hit the like button down below. One more like for 200 likes. Broken the blooming seal, haven't I? I've had one wee, and now I'm like, oh. And then I just farted as I span round. We're very quickly heading towards the witching hour. The witching hour where we don't catch any WhatsApp clips, so we don't screenshot any video. We're heading towards the witching hour rather quickly. Thank you very much, Michael Richards. Dave's watching from St Ives. Oh, hello, Dave. I reviewed this. I thought that was good, from St Ives Brewery. Very good. Yalla. A West Coast espresso IPA with coffee. Very good. I've also got a pud. I'm not sure if you've seen it. St Ives put a sticky toffee pudding stout. I reviewed that on the channel. It's going to be released next week, probably. I need a wee. Brilliant. 200 likes calling. Daniela, Simon, what am I drinking? I'm drinking a Francis can of ice beer. Francis can of ice beer. Loads of kegs during the situation. Oh, there was, Michael Richards. It really was. Mark Lancaster says, good evening, Simon. Darren says, watching the Rocky movies on dodgy copy videos in Tenerife bars. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Stephen Ball, what was the Guinness one you had the other week? You can have this if you like, mate. if you're still watching, you can have this for free. I don't drink much Guinness, mate. You can have this. It's a Guinness Surger thing. In fact, I gotta check. You know, I got a funny feeling I forgot to clean it. Nah, it's all right. It's all right. So what you do, Steve, if you're still watching, of course, people say these things have been breaking on them. Should we see if it still works? There's a button on the back. Yes, it's still working. So what you do, light up the can, put it on the can, talk for over 30 seconds so the thing turns itself back off again. And then you pour your beer. I'm only joking because I made a mistake when I did a review of this. So this thing only turns on for 30 seconds. So apparently I turned it on for 30 seconds. I talked for a minute and then poured my beer. And of course, the Guinness community, they went wild. The Guinness community, they went wild. They went absolutely bonkers, didn't they? Absolutely bonkers. The amount of criticism I had on that video was incredible. You can't treat this stupid little gadget like this. It was just like, I'm just going to go to my local bottle shop and buy a proper stout anyway. I don't care for your Guinness. I'm only joking. If there's proper Guinness drinkers out there who really enjoy a pint of Guinness, then I'm only joking. If you love this product, I'm only messing about. I really am. If you're a Guinness drinker, just enjoy the Guinness. But that was a bit of a kind of a joke to the backlash that I got off that Guinness. Have a look back. Put in Guinness. I don't even know what the name of the damn. What was it called? Guinness Surger? What's it called? I can't even remember. Put in Guinness Gadget or some blooming thing into. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. What's it called? Anyway, I had a lot of backlash because apparently I turned it on. It only stays on for 30 seconds. I talk for a minute, and then I poured the beer, and apparently it turned itself off as I was pouring the beer. Who'd have thought? Science fiction. I suppose working from home, especially in the winter, is hard because you can't go out like you would do in the summer. Yeah, yeah. Working from home it's not as desirable as some people think it is. It's not as desirable as some people because you're in the blooming house all the time. I don't like being in the house all the time. Being in this live stream this time when the first pint goes down way too quickly. I think it's time for a hot brown dunkel, says Brian. I love my perfect draft and will always keep a keg in it, says John. But I do enjoy the individual cans from breweries. Pardon me, and there are many places near me who sell great beer. I gotta go for a wee. Sorry, guys. What are we on? 5 to 9. I haven't done bad. Have I? What? 2 wees in 2 hours? It's not bad, is it? I am back. 230 people still, and it's brilliant of you guys still to be here. There's over 200 people is fantastic. We've got a super chat as well from ADC, £5 super chat saying, great Friday, Simon. Keep up the good work, my friend. Thank you very much, ADC. Brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. I really appreciate it. You have had too many beers when you get that awful taste in the morning. A taste that lasts all day. James, do you know I've never really had that? I've never really. I get a awful bloody hangover. Oh, I get real bad. You know, if I review in the morning, and if I review a beer that's like awesomely good, and you're like, oh, that's good. I drink it too fast. I find by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, ooh, afternoon hangover. Yeah, not great. First two Rocky films are the better films, but 3 and 4 have more rewatch value. The fights, yeah, he kind of got the knack of it by then, didn't he? You know, but he broke ribs in the 4th movie. Dolph Lundgren broke his ribs, broke a few bones in the man's body. It wasn't to be taken lightly. You know, you watch Rocky 4 and you're like flipping it. You know, one slip. And apparently, there's a scene in the movie in Rocky 4 where they're going for it, and one of them slips, and it's like a full-on smack in the face. With boxing glove, of course, but it's still a full-on smack in the face. And I think it's the one where Rocky, his head goes back. You know, it seems a little bit like, oof, that was a bit real. Yeah, that was real. I say Rocky's heads go back. Sylvester Stallone's heads go back, you know. On the keg crepes debate, the price in the Netherlands for one top is now nearly €10 for Amstel Heineken. €3 increase, not worth it. That's the thing, Stephen. That's the problem. Tommy Gabriel saying we got 218 likes, and Rate My Beer said we got 221. You guys are amazing. I'm going to scroll down because I got so many of you wonderful comments. Cymru Bluebird TV. Simon's gone for a pee, or as is known in the beer world, gone for a carling. Right. I'm up to date with the comments. I've skipped through loads and loads and loads of comments. I do apologise. The fact is, I've gone for a wee. I've missed a lot of the comments. I might as well scroll through to the end. Where are we? We're officially it's 9 o'clock. We're in the witching hour. So, as with every witching hour video, I say the same thing. Please do not take any WhatsApp screenshots of me or little video recordings of me, and please don't send them to your friends. And this is a private members club. This is the witching hour. This is the hour where we've had a few beers and it's Friday night and we get to be a little bit naughty, you know. We get to kind of just be ourselves and feel free in our home environment, not to be kind of screen grabbed on WhatsApp. And on that note, let's get a beer. Here we go then. Do you know, I often wonder, I do these live streams, I drink a lot of Franciscana, drink a lot of the Lidl and the Aldi Vice beers. Oh, Trav with an incredible super chat. I'm going to grab it in a minute. Trav, do you mind if I just finish what I wanted to say about, like, I'd love a contact at Franciscana. I'd love to chat with Franciscana and say, hey, I'm a big fan of your beer. I want to purchase a glass. So I'm a big Franciscana fan, but I'm pouring it into a Poland. I'm sure Franciscana or Poland and don't mind. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to. I've never had a Franciscana on draft. Never had a Franciscana on draft. I've not been to that part of Germany, see, where I can have a Franciscana on draft. But I would love a Franciscana Weissbier glass. I'm wondering if I could contact the brewery and say, hey, you know, this is what I do here on YouTube. I love your beer. And, you know, maybe you can send me a glass, or maybe I can purchase a glass. I can buy a glass from you. I don't mind. I don't mind buying it. Sort the video out, Simon. This is Windows 1995 webcam quality on AOL. Well, that's how it is, isn't it? That's how it is. We're back to the 90s. Travis Wilson with a 31 Australian dollar super chat. Now, first of all, before I read the super chat, I want to apologise to Trav. Because I get a lot, I've had some fantastic, Trav sends me really nice emails and really funny. I chuckle all day long. Because Trav sends me like funny video clips on Instagram in my messages, my Instagram messages. And I open them now and I'm like, oh, what's this one now? And that's my reaction. I open my phone. What's this now? Trav sends. And nigh on, I'm laughing my head off. But I realize when I look at my replies are just like, haha, you know, I find this very fun, or kind of very kind of generic, like almost like, what's the word? Like I could be offering a little bit more in return. But I think I get millions and millions and millions of Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and emails, and it's just a constant like. So I think now there's a lot of the time, but I haven't got time to acknowledge everybody. I simply don't have the time to acknowledge everybody. So I try, even if it's just a little snippet, I send Trav like a thumbs up or quick, haha, this is very. Just to acknowledge the stuff that he sent, because some of the stuff on Instagram, the one today, I opened one today from Trav, and it was like a bloke, he had tattoos all over his face, and he was like, when I was 15, I had a job, and by the time I was 17, I was living on my own, and the youngsters today, they live with their parents till they're 35, and they don't know what. I'm not going. I'm not. But the rest of it, and I laugh my head off because it's so blooming true. I'm not going to get into a row on you tonight with what the rest of it was, you know. But I thought it was hysterical. On to Trav's super chat, 31 Australian dollar. Hi, Si. I hope you have a great evening. I'm currently in transit to work. 6:15 in the morning. Now that you're on daylight saving and we have finished daylight saving the crows, it's 4 o'clock. Have I read that wrong? Daylight saving the crows on at 4 a.m. Till 7 a.m. Say hi to Mel for me and stay safe, my friend. Absolutely, Trav. Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate the super chat. Incredible. What are you drinking tonight, Simon? I'm on a Franciscana. Mike Barrett. Garage, least favourite. Garage, the singers. Garage, the music band. We do what we want. We are in the witching hour and we will do what we want, says my. Yes, exactly. It's the witching hour. Right, I'm going to read this one from Neil Smith. Sip of beer first. Can't get behind the Creed movies. Rocky coming from the streets to get his chance. How he deals with success is just more interesting than a silver spoon in the mouth, son proving himself. You know, it's funny though, because, yeah, there is a lot of that in the Creed movies. There is a lot of that. But Rocky's still Rocky. Rocky's still Rocky. You know, when he deals with like his ill health, you know, when you got to take medication, life-saving medication. You know, I don't want to talk about the big C and all that kind of stuff, but you know, that was like a flipping full-on story, wasn't it? I was like, whoa, that was Rocky being Rocky. You know, again, that kind of, who knows what happens in that man's personal life? Maybe he dealt with that. You know, maybe they wrote it in. Maybe he dealt. Who knows? Who knows? But what I'm trying to say is that, oh, Rocky's Rocky, isn't he? You know, he stole that show, didn't he? He stole that. That movie was going nowhere. I nearly turned it off. I thought it was, you know, a bit boring, nothing really going on. And then that scene hit, and it was like you choke up, you're like, flipping heck, you know, especially if you're a Rocky fan. And, you know, still, even though it's Creed, it's still a lot of Rocky in there. There's still a lot of Rocky in there. Dave says, Brewdog is overrated. Video quality is still not great for me, says Gary. I'm awfully sorry. I don't know what I can say in terms of that. Sam K says, I tried to renew my membership, Simon, but it wouldn't let me. Oh, that's Sam K. I don't know what to do, to be honest. That's all YouTube. That's all YouTube and Google. Sam K. But, you know, hey, Sam K., you're in the witching hour. You're with us. You're having a beer. You're here. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. You're here having a blooming beer with us. Cat Orange Whistling Cat. Daniela. Hello, Daniela. How are you doing? Orange Whistling Cat. Used to work in Brewdog Edinburgh, but feel like all's changed. Well, I haven't been in Brewdog for years. Try a different payment method. Says, well, you know, I mean, you have a little look, chat about that amongst yourselves, guys. Chase McDaniel, talking about Gordy videos. Anyone ever seen SPK Wars? I haven't seen that, no. Lewis, beer reviews. William, Simon can't stream now because YouTube changed their video. Yeah. So what happened? YouTube stopped me doing this horizontal feed. They wanted me to do like some kind of weird Instagram phone facing upward. And it was just ridiculous because most of you guys, I've asked you guys in the past, most of you watch on your televisions. You don't want to see like it was just ridiculous, wasn't it? It wasn't working. Why YouTube went down that road, I don't know. At least give you the option. If you want to go horizontal, go horizontal. If you want to go but they were pushing you to do vertical video live streams. I don't want that. Who wants that? Twitch didn't do that. Why are YouTube gone down that road? So basically, I would prefer the YouTube format was brilliant. The comments would roll in. I'd read the comments. With this, you got to move. You got to move your thumb. And if you don't move your thumb, you read a couple of comments, and then all of a sudden, you know, like a carousel. You're flipping your thumb like a carousel, and you're rolling through like 50 comments at a time. And I apologize that I can't get to everybody's comments like I used to. But it's it's YouTube's fault. They're saying a vertical channel has, and not as many views for many YouTubers. Well, yeah, exactly. I can't imagine it being. It'll be crazy when you were driving. Irish Cham says, hi, I'm new. Hello, Irish Cham. How are you doing? You can live stream on YouTube in landscape mode. Probably an app update broke it. Maybe I'll try and revert back to an older version of the app, maybe. Try and do that. But I'm okay on StreamYard now. I've kind of got used to it. I'm on my phone still, which is the main thing. The thing is, for me, I don't want loads of complications. I don't want laptops. And you can get different streaming. You can get streaming boxes now where you push buttons. I could have like a 3-camera setup. I could have a main camera here. I could have a camera over there and a camera over there. And I could press buttons on like a dashboard and it'll flip between screens, like the television does, where sometimes they're talking face on and they're talking from the side and then they're talking from the other side. I could do that all on my own. I could like have this little streaming box on, like pushing, but I think it would initially, maybe it would mess up my flow. I don't think I'd be as flowy, as chatty. I'd be like a bit more like a robot pushing buttons, talking to you guys. Oh, I must go right. I must go to the left camera. Must go to the right camera. I think it would mess things up. So if there was somebody doing it for you, you had a like 5-camera setup thing going on, chatting with different people, and that would work. But on your own, in the bar, one static camera. There's 227 people watching right now, as of 9:15 at night, and I think that's flipping good. I mean, now there's 232. It's not a bad thing, is it? It's not a bad thing at all. Watching a man scratch his eye at 9:15 at night. Are you a fellow Welsh? I'm from Barry Baidos, Barry Island. Receptionist says, if it's broken, don't fix it. And I think now I've rubbed some of that blue chili stuff in my eye from Tackies. Might be worth using a spare phone and watch your own stream live and read the comments from that. Could do. Chris Martin could do. Trying that new Harbour beer in Lidl. It's not good. Saw a review last week on it. Liam, it's not that good, is it? It's really not that good. Daniel Bell works a lot these days, Sam K. He works a lot. We got another Whistling Cat Orange. Can anybody explain what's going on? One earlier on, it was Cat Whistling Orange. Now it's Whistling Cat Orange. I don't know. Can anybody help me with that? I got no idea. Jeffrey Pallow says, Simon, the review video you did when I retired Guinness Master sent you a bottle of homebrew. Was it really that good? I got a bottle up there on my shelf. I don't touch it. There's a bottle up there. Don Jeffrey. Oh, I'm just flipping. He won't mind. He's retired anyway. What are they going to do? Sack him. I just slipped his name out. Oh, well. I won't do it again. He's a great guy. He was a Guinness master brewer. He worked in Nigeria as well. I think they shipped him. I think he worked in a few of the different Guinness plants. I think he went to Nigeria. But he brewed Rev James. There was a famous Welsh beer called the Reverend James, and it was made by Buckley's originally, and he invented that beer. That was his recipe. Buckley's Rev James, the Rev James Buckley. And then when Brains bought out Buckley's Brewery, it was the only beer that they kept from the Buckley's range was Rev James. And that beer for Brains, even today, is a big seller. It's a big seller for Brains. Most of you have probably, have you heard of Rev James? One of the Welsh, big Welsh beers. But Don, I said it again, haven't I? Don, I've just dropped you in it to Guinness. Don Jeffrey. Yeah, that was his invention. And what a cracking guy. What a cracking guy. I think I've told you all the stories. Been to Poland with Don. Went to Poland. He taught me the trick. If you got a flight at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're still drinking at 3 o'clock in the morning, go to bed in your blooming clothes. Go to bed in your clothes and have your suitcase at the hotel door, ready to go. Lay on your bed, get yourself a couple of hours of kip. Literally, I knocked his door, the door swung open. Didn't even shut his door. I was like, Don, the blooming taxi's outside. He was like Frankenstein. He just sat up. He just sat up like Frankenstein. He was still drunk. Got up, grabbed his suitcase, out the door. Boom! Just like that. Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it in your life. Me, in the morning, I gotta have a coffee. I gotta wash my face with cold water. I sleep in my boxer shorts. I can't sleep in my clothes. I sleep in my box. I'd have to get up. I'd have to get dressed. I'd have to wash my face. I'd have to have a coffee. I'd have to flip and close my suitcase and zip it up. He was like a flipping military drilled commando. A military drilled commando. Knock on the door. Don, the taxi's outside. Door swung open as I knocked it. It wasn't even shut. Sat up like Frankenstein's monster in bed. He was in his 70s. The guy was already retired. He was in his 70s. Sat up, grabbed his suitcase, boom, straight out the door. He was in the taxi before I was in the flipping taxi. Unbelievable. We had an hour's drive then from the hotel to the airport. And I kept on looking back. And I looked back. And Don was like this. He was like a nodding dog in the back of the taxi. All the way to the airport. And I'd look back and I go, you all right, Don? And he'd be like, yeah. Wonderful view out the window, yeah. And I'd look back because I was in the front seat. I'd look back in the front window. And after a couple of seconds, I'd look back again. He was like this. He was like a nodding dog. I tell you what, though. Amazing guy. Don Jeffrey. StreamYard only seems to be outputting 720 for you, though, Simon. Sorry, Cod Chops. Simon, your setup is great as is. Of course, there will be better setups with more expensive gear, but the simplicity is what makes it work. Yeah, just a guy standing in a bar, having a chat, drinking beer with you guys. What more do you want, eh? What more do you want? Don't you find it annoying when you follow some YouTubers and once they get too mainstream and popular, they forget the fans? It's tough. Can I be perfectly honest with you? Maya, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Do you know when I first started my channel, I absolutely vowed that I would reply to every single comment. If you watch my early videos, I promise to reply to every single comment and like, and I'll reply. I'm a one-man band. It became incredibly impossible. I'd have like hundreds and hundreds of comments a day. And that's only because of my own. I'm producing 8,000. There's 8,000 YouTube videos out there. Nearly, well, more or less 9,000 YouTube videos out there on my channel. It's completely impossible for me to reply to every single person out there. And I get it. I totally get it. Because, like you say in there, some YouTubers, they make the mainstream and then they forget about the fans. I totally understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, when you're on your, if you're a one-man band like me, it's completely impossible to answer every single comment that comes your way. The best I can offer these days, because I still like to acknowledge a new comment, I like to like and love. If I can like and love a comment, especially the newer videos that come out, I'll try and do all of that in a day, and then and maybe some back catalog stuff, just to acknowledge people, just to go, hey, yeah, I can see you, man, I can see you. But the trouble is, like you say about YouTubers becoming mainstream, even the mainstream YouTubers, they can't afford a lot of staff. They can't afford lots and lots of staff because it's completely impossible. And it will, it will always be a case where they're probably, they're very thankful. They're probably very thankful for that initial. It's a bit like supporting Brewdog, isn't it? They're very thankful for the initial support they got. And now they're mainstream. Well, they're probably so thankful. If you probably chatted to James Watt, he's probably still really thankful that, people got him to where he is today. But it would be completely impossible for him to answer every single email or fan, or it's difficult. It's very difficult. It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act that I think a lot of people is impossible for them to get. Just joined as a new member after watching for several years. Did I make a good decision? Joe, thank you very much for the membership. I really appreciate it. Really appreciating it. Cybot beer. I like that. By the way, I'm the world's best dad. My pint glass says so. Chris Martin, you are the world's best dad, mate. Yes. Roy, €2 super chat says, I bet everyone wants to see a toilet cam. Roy, yeah. God, you'll see. Is my what you might call it, prostate, the little dribble, the prostate dribble. This channel and live stream is one of the reasons I just spent over $200 and a couple of hours building this home bar. But it's quite cool to enjoy a pint with you all today. Cheers from Ohio. Brian, yes, mate. You built your home bar. Brilliant. Brilliant. Any tips for a would-be beer reviewer? I'm currently drinking Hop the Light Fantastic by Off Axis Brewing. Would be beer review tips. Mr. Slick, be honest with your audience. Be honest with your audience. I watched a video this week on YouTube, and this person's been pretty critical of me over the last 18 months. And I watched one of his videos, and I watched one of these videos this week, and he gave me a bit of slack. This guy, he's been pretty heavy with me. He gave me a bit of slack this week, and I really appreciate this man giving me a bit of slack this week. He basically said in one of his videos that at least Simon's honest. He said at least Simon tells his audience that it's a business. And he always has told people it's a business. And he respects me for that. And I sat back on my sofa after watching that video and I was like, you know, thank goodness for that. You know, thank goodness for that. There's a little bit of kind of like, we're all human. We're all human. I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. He wasn't a robot making the video. He has emotions. I have emotions. He has feelings. I have feelings. And I just sat back in the chair after watching and I thought, do you know what? Fair play. Fair play to that man. Fair play to that man. So what I'm going to say to you, Mr. Slick, is this. If you're thinking about making a YouTube channel on food or beer or cars or anything, laying floor tiles, fitting double glazing windows, rendering walls, whatever you want to do on YouTube, be honest. Be honest. I think the biggest thing you can be is be honest with your audience. Be honest with your audience. Tell them straight. Tell them straight, you know, you want to make a business out of it. You want to make a business. You want to, this is your thing. This is what you want to do. This is my dream. This is my dream. And they can either do two things. They can either accept it and watch, or they can not accept it and not watch. But at least, Mr. Slick, you've been honest at the very beginning. The very, very beginning. And to that person who made that video this week, I'm just going to wink and I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to leave it at that. No drama. No, nothing. Just wink. Thank you. Let's move on. Afternoon, Simon. A bit late working tonight. Hello, Stephen Claxon. How you doing, mate? What more do you want to be in the bar? Come over here. Come over. Hannah and music. Cheesecake tonight. Drinking Budweiser. I'm sure I remember seeing your video washing the car. Yeah, absolutely. Simon Wood. Yeah, he is. Simon Wood. I'm going to do a video about Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm bound to grow from nowhere. You should. Jack and the Beanstalk. Simon Wood. You caught me in the witching hour, Simon Wood. It's 9:30. I've had a few beers. I'm slightly excited. Thanks for joining me, mate. My new favourite channel, Hobo Shoestring. Simon, I appreciate him. He sneaks onto freight trains and travels all across the USA. Cramps in the woods. Oh, man, yes! That is absolutely. Oh, I'd love that. Yeah. Got kids, wife and kids. I want a kebab and a bottle of wine. Go for it. Have you visited Brew Monster in Caerphilly yet? I need to, Mr. Slick. I need to. Ask Chan, and I'll tell you exactly how to grow your channel. Scared what coming on the corner. Well, you know. Hello, Lord's Brewing Company. Thanks for me and John. I finished the call and I looked at the call. Me and John from Lord's always have a long telephone call. This one was 1 hour and 15 minutes. Me and John, 1 hour and we spent 1 hour and 15 on the phone, and it feels like 20 minutes. It feels like 20 minutes with John. John's such a lovely guy. We talk and we chat, and it feels like 20 minutes. And I was like, why is it past bloody 3? Why do I need to go to Lidl to get my vice beers for the night? It's like, what? Hour and 15 minutes, just gone, just like that. So anyway, I try and Oh, do you know I need another bloody wee? Good grief, what's going on with me? Round back. Oh, having the wee shakes now, properly holding it in. Which is your favourite craft beer lady review? Oh, I love looking back. I love looking back at my beautiful wife when she did her videos early on. And I look back and I'm like, flipping heck, I married the right one there, you know, what good looking woman. I was lucky. I was really lucky. I look back at some of I think the first one, the Krabby's ginger beer. I watched that quite often. I'm like, flipping heck. I was lucky. No wonder I was walking around with like a floppy baby's ham all day long. Home at last and back to work in 7.5 hours. It was great having a chat, mate. And we put the world to rights. We did, mate. No. It's just like a bladder job. It's like holding onto the bladder for dear life. Simon works hard for his channel. I won't. I'll let you guys chat. Because if I start reading comments, I'll end up. I read them out, and then it's people snip it and cut it, and it sounds like I'm saying it, and it's a quote from me, and I'm not getting involved. This beer is very good. I gotta go for it. Paul's beer reviews. Yeah, hello, Paul. How you doing, Paul? I gotta go for a wee, Paul. Do you mind? I'm gonna pee myself now. I'll be back now, Paul. better. That's much better. Right. Do you mind if I skip a load of comments? I know I'm missing a load, but we're on StreamYard and the comments are not as flowy. Pardon me. The comments are not as flowy as they were on YouTube. I'm up to date. So my latest comment is from John from Lords. We got one from Paul, Natalie and Maggie saying, proper bums have a farm. When you go for a wee, when the beer's probably the... Yeah, absolutely. Christine says, I'm a lightweight at drinking beer. I can only drink 1 pint and I'm drunk. Eric Grunland, she's chatting to Eric Grunland. Big Kev says, watched the latest Bond film last night. No Time to Die. What an excellent film. Daniel Craig has been a great Bond over the last day. He really has. Is that the one where it starts off in Italy? Where he's romancing a woman in like an old stone town, in like a Roman town in Italy. Wonderful, and it's like perfect life, like, you know, bird on the arm, bottle of wine, bottle of beer for me, bottle of beer. Sun coming down in the background, blue Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, we all have them dreams, don't we? We all have those dreams. Being a Mr. Bond. Oh, Mr. Bond. No, it's James. Oh, God. Hi, Simon. Loving your work. My man, tell us about your best beer you've ever had and at what location. P.S. Hope you wash your hand. Don't worry about me. I'm like Lane. Slow horses. Lane. Boom, ba, bam, ba, boom, ba, bam, ba, boom. Do you watch that? Anyone watch Slow Horses? Flipping brilliant. I'm like Lane, me. Wash my hands. Close to the clock. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Craft beer. Oh, is he? Where is he? Where is Mark? Simon Woods in. We got Irish. And there he is. Craft Beer Hub. How you doing, Mark, mate? We're all in. Right. I'm going to be honest. If you're all still in, Mark, Paul, John, I'm feeling slightly sad. It's a funny world, isn't it? John's in Huddersfield. Paul's in London. I'm in Wales. Mark's in Norfolk. Every single flipping corner of the UK, more or less. But when we get in the lift and those lift doors close, you know what's going to happen when those lift doors close. The man from Huddersfield raises his right leg and he lets one rip in the lift, and then the lift's got to go up 8 floors and you're all going, you're all holding your breath because the man from Huddersfield has farted in the lift. Oh, honestly, you couldn't make it up. That's Lane from Slow Horses. Yeah, you want to watch it. Brilliant. But anyway, the reason why I'm sad is because Paul's really busy now. Paul's working in a craft beer bar and he's running his own gardening business. So Paul's massively busy. So I'm not sure if we're going to see Paul this year in a beer festival. I'd love to say we will. I'd love to, you know, I'll work around Paul's schedule. So if Paul can only make 1 or 2 festivals this year, then I'm there. I am absolutely there. And probably the same for John, Mark. We'll all be there. We'll all come. We'll all have some fun. We have. It's all like very much, you know. I'm a carpenter. John's a mechanic. Mark's a sparky. Paul's a gardener. We all come from that kind of very similar. Of course, it is a working class background, but like a outside working environment where whether it rain or shine, we're all out there kind of working. Not so much me anymore. I'm a YouTuber. John is a brewer. But, you know, we all got that background. We all got that kind of building, outside, worky. You know, when you just instantly get on with people. You can instantly, whatever part of the world you're in, whether Mark's a Spark from Norfolk, Simon the Carpenter from Wales, you know, we can meet up at a beer festival and we'll generally tell some jokes, we'll have some laughs, we'll drink some beer, we'll have some fun. You know, that sort of banter goes on. And I'd like to think this year we can all get together. We can all get together, get the band back together and have a drink, make a couple of videos. That's the hammer. That's the hammer. Super chat from Pat's Beer Garage, $5 super chat saying, cheers, Simon. You gave me the courage to start reviewing. Boom! Boom! I love it. I love it. You know, one of the most satisfying things on this channel is two things, actually. Two things. One, my most satisfying comment that I receive on YouTube is, because of you, I now drink good beer. I love that. That's my favorite comment in the world. Somebody comments on that, because of you, I now drink Weiss beer or Hellas Lager or IPA or Stout or put, and I'm like, yeah, bingo, bango. I've done my job. I've done my job. Next favorite comment is, of course, when other people go, watch your channel, I start making my own beer stuff on YouTube. And I just think that's just, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? People are drinking good beer, and then people who started drinking good beer have decided to open their own YouTube channels and start talking about good beer. Isn't that a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing? GoldenEye is the best Bond film history, says Yorkshire Peacock. Hello, Yorkshire Peacock. Simon's money penny impressions get the guys hot into the collar. Brian is having a chat with Mike. Lee is enjoying slow horses like me. Mr. Slick watched the Brewmasters and discovered the Belgian triple for the first time. Found it in an Aldi and it blew me away. Incredible. That is another comment I like. You know, you're watching stuff on telly. You're watching stuff on YouTube. You're watching stuff on telly. You might be listening to stuff on the radio. Try this, try that. There's not enough of it. If the mainstream TV channels decided to promote beer, craft beer, the BBC, we all pay for the BBC in the UK. It's a public broadcaster. There's 1 million new breweries since 2010, but the BBC choose not to talk about it. If they talked about it half as much as they talk about wine and food, then craft beer would be even bigger in the UK than it already is. Gary Oldman, yeah, Lee Proctor, yeah, we all love Gary Oldman. Said it earlier, mate, but I raise a glass to you. Absolutely. Well, I mean, Mark, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Face push. See, now, John's on this now. John's in on this. I don't know. I don't understand it. Face pusher, poop, face shape, face pusher, poop shape. I can't even bloody read that, John. I'm not going to read. I can't read that this time of night after 5 beers. Dad and Skiddo, get yourself to Crafty Dog Beer Festival in Ilkley, Yorkshire, weekend, 5th of May. I'm off on Sunday the 7th. Darren, can I ask you a personal thing on this? Can you possibly send me? I got a. Here we are. Look at this. If you're still watching, you got. Why am I holding my head like this? Lords and Here we go. Look, my sunglasses. Here we are. There's Paul's beer reviews there on the side. He's there. He's there on my glasses. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, and Darren, can you possibly email me realaleguide@googlemail.com? I think I'd like that. Ilkley, find a B&B, make a weekend of it. Do you mind drop me an email, Darren? realaleguide@googlemail.com or a Facebook or a Twitter or whatever, YouTube comment. But I'm too far into the night to remember. I've had too many beers and it's too far into the night for me to remember that in the morning. But if you can I'd like to come to Ilkley. I just spit out my beer. Simon Woods. Oh, Danny Ellis. Right, I'm going to go. Danny Ellis, I'm going to go. Cat, orange, whistling cat. Orange, whistling cat. Orange, whistling cat. I don't know. What is, I don't understand. What is this? How old are you? 10? I'm 43. 43 years of age. You doing any salami reviews? Maybe. Evening Simon in chat says Gavin. I've missed a load of comments now. Load of comments. Simon, as soon as I finish this beer, I'll be back on the speckle then. Been drinking real ales and craft beer since before they were cool. Mr. Slip, brilliant. I'm really pleased for you. I honestly am. That sounded sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being honest. I'm really pleased for you. My hometown Pag had an early impromptu beer garden due to great weather. They ran out of beer in an hour or so. It's amazing how much we love our beer. Jack Bandit, totally cool. Simon, okay, you're in the mood now. How about a big Stone the Crows to make my Friday? It never gets old. Brian, this one's for you, mate. You ready? Stone the Crows! That's for Brian. I take Timothy Dalton over Daniel Craig. And I don't know. Which one was Timothy Dalton? 26 likes to 300. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't already, folks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no... I don't know how many likes I get on StreamYard. You'll have to let me know. But if you can get us to 300 likes tonight, that would be absolutely fan-dabby-doby. It'd be great. Thank you. Ilkley is a great place, and I think has the original Harry. This is it, Harry Ramsden's. I love my chips. I went to the dentist yesterday to book my daughter in for. She got an overcrowding mouth like I had. Simon was just reminding me of a story when I was 8 years of age. So when I was 8 years of age, I had too many teeth in my mouth. So I had to have tooth there removed, tooth there, and a tooth there. So I had to have 4 teeth removed. My daughter's going through a very similar stage now, hence me talking about why am I Ilkley? Harry Ramsden's. I'm going to tie all this. I'm going to tie my dentist story, Simon Wood, back to Harry Ramsden's and what I did yesterday on the way home from booking my daughter in at the dentist. So when I had my teeth removed, I had overcrowding. So all my teeth were like, I was like a critter. So I needed like 1 million braces. But the first brace I had was to pull back my molars at the back, to pull them back, to make room for all of these other teeth to move back a bit and to give me some space in my mouth. So I had to have 4 teeth out, move them all back. Back in the day, back in the 1980s when this happened to me, I had a brace that was a metal brace that came around the outside of my mouth. And it had an elastic band on the back. And literally, this was like a futuristic thing at the time. And they called me. I was in junior school. I was about 8, 9. They called me on the stage, the assembly stage. And they said, we want to call up Simon. Please don't go near, don't bump him in the yard. Don't push him. Don't knock him over. If this guy falls flat on his face, he's going to be hell to play type of thing. And I think back now and I'm like, oh, goodness me. Yeah, that would have been awful. But anyway, I had this metal brace that come up the outside of my mouth, connected to my back teeth, and with a strap on the back. And they were basically, over time, they were pulling my molars back. Pulling my molars back. So I had room to grow more teeth. It was all overcrowded. Anyway, my daughter, Annabelle, who does the kudo, the karate, she's going through exactly the same thing as I had. Teeth coming out everywhere. Teeth everywhere. Teeth like this, teeth everywhere. Like, ah! Anyway. So we went to the orthodontist in Cardiff, the Heath Hospital, 2 weeks ago. It's organised that they want to take them out by the 30th of May. Went to the dentist yesterday. They sent me the letter. So I have an orthodontist letter saying, will you take it? And I'm like, no, this letter shouldn't be for me. It should be for the dentist. So as some of you know, I do a 6-mile walk every day. I do 3 miles one way, 3 miles back. So I looked on Google Maps. I seen Park Crescent Dentistry is 2.5 miles away. So I thought, instead of my normal walk, I'll walk to the dentist. So I walked to the dentist, made the appointment with my daughter, take the teeth out. And this is where the Simon Wood comment comes in. I love my chips. So I got there at 1 o'clock, booked the appointment, 1 o'clock. I walked out, West End of Barry, chip shops open in the day down that end of town. I'm like, nose in the air, nose, what's that smell? I can smell fish and chips. Irene's Supper Bar, Park Crescent in Barry, £2.50 for a bag of chips. £2.50 for a bag. I was like, this is new to me. £2.50 for a bag of chips. Anyway, I paid. I said, can I have a cone of chips? £2.50. And I walked back home along the docks, the Barry docks. Second deepest dock in the world, Barry docks. Second deepest dock in the world. Goes down. They'll never find that gas meter. They'll never find it. Whoever wrote that comment earlier, it was Hazy Hayes. Hazy Hayes wrote, the man with a magnetic thing on the water will be disappointed if he thinks he found a safe. That thing's gone down about 1/2 mile into the sea. It's the second deepest dock in the world. Nobody's finding that gas meter. Anyway, cone of chips. Love my chips. I love the moment I smelt chips coming out that dentist surgery, I was like, oh, I got to have a bag of chips. So, Simon Wood, dentist story, tying it all back to Harry Ramsden's. If I ever go to Ilkley, I will be buying some Harry Ramsden's chips. How's that for a story, Simon Wood? Eh? How's that for a story? Past beer guys, $5 super chat. When you come to the US, there's some incredible East Coast breweries to show you. If the East Coast was on the list, I mean, Pat, I'm 43 now, and I've still not been to America. I've been to Germany, Croatia, France, Spain, Germany again, Italy, Bulgaria, Malta. I've been to Malta. But it's all been that way. It's all been Europe. It's all Belgium. Belgium. I'm sure there's places I've missed. I've been around Europe. I've never gone that way. I've never gone that way. I've never gone across the Atlantic. I dream of it. I do. Pat, if you're still watching, I dream of it. I dream of Japan, Korea, America, Australia, New Zealand. All these wonderful lands that I've not been to. I dream of them. Pat, I'd love to come to America. Absolutely love to come to America. It'd be incredible. Absolutely incredible. License to Kill, revenge movie, good. Speckled Hen, May, Skunk in a Bottle, mass produced world, says Cod Chops. So many people, I'd be here all night listening. John, we're having fun tonight, mate. We are having fun, John. Captain Meat's in. John, Captain Meat is in. He is in. I'm drinking a Stigbergast Whiskey Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Incredible beer. Great Swedish brewery. Stigbergast. Oh, Peter Can. Stigbergast. Amazing haze. Had it back in the day. Incredible beer. I bet you that Whiskey Barrel Aged Imperial Stout is incredible. When I was a kid, I loved the Bond films with the scuba divers. Oh, yeah. Story time says it's good. Hey, Sally, did you see the other video I sent through? It was the bloke at the McDonald's drive-thru. Yeah. All the different accents he was saying. Just incredible. Oh, my God, this is like Ronnie Corbett. Well, I'm jumping parts of the story. Sorry. People say that all the time. I kind of like somehow link. It's just the thing that I have. I don't know. Harry Ramsden's in Swansea is banging. Sam K. Now, we had one in Cardiff Bay. We had a Harry Ramsden's, but it closed down. Become a Wetherspoons. Shame. Because I had chips there once. Beef dripping chips from Harry Ramsden's. They were fantastic. Dr. Density, yeah. George Lazenby, great band movie. What's the appointment at 2:30? No, 1 o'clock. I got in there at 1 o'clock and boof, chips on the way home, Big Kev. Chips on the way home. On a Magic Cigar actor George Lazenby, when Bond got his heart broken, set up the rest of the Bond story. It sounds good. Gavin Allen. How many Bond films featured the space shuttle? Do you know, I need to, it's probably 1 million Bond films I haven't seen. I'd like to sit down and watch them all. Has anyone watched Super Chuff? I don't know. No, I don't know about that one. Moonraker, and you look twice. Lots of Bond comments tonight. To see Dr. Jason Hart in Monmouth. Cool. Okay, Ronnie Corbett stories were shorted. Shorter. Yes, yeah. Simon Wood, sorry for my flipping long-winded. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Cost £4 each the oil to cook the chips. Wow. Well, yeah, I just said £2.50 for a bag of chips. Isn't that mad? Poor chip shop owners these days. I mean, not just chip shop owners, but I mean, you got to think of the breweries as well. Breweries use a lot of hot liquor. You know, one of the most expensive. You know, if I flick that kettle on, if I went in that house right now and flicked that kettle on, that is probably the most expensive appliance in the house, the kettle. Every time you want to reach boiling point, water, not quite your heating. Your heating don't reach boiling point, does it? But every time you want to warm up water, these days, costs the earth. So I feel for the breweries. Lots and lots of hot liquor, lots of hot water used in a brewery these days. All days, not just these days, all days. And it must be day to day. They must be counting the pennies. They must be every single penny, every single pound, every single penny. And it makes you sad, doesn't it? It makes you sad because we all moan, oh, we got to buy a £3 supermarket beer or a £3.50 supermarket beer, or your local beer in the bottle shop's now £6 a can. But, I mean, you think, if the chip shop, it takes £4 to heat the oil to cook the chips, then you think of how much that's going to cost for a brewery. That's going to be like 10 times. It's going to be 40 quid. It'll be 40 quid by the time the brewer brews his gets his liquor to the right temperature to brew his beer. 40 quid before he even wakes up in the morning, because they're all on timers. They're all on timers. £2.50 is it? Well, I can't imagine how much a bag of chips is in Cornwall. The important thing was that Simon had an onion on his belt, which was the style at the time. They didn't have white onions because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones. I'm laughing so hard at this story. Says Bob Monkhouse. Oh, I'm reading some of these guys just flashing through the comments. Sorry. Popped to Barry a few years back, stayed at camping, glamping site. Happy days. Yeah, it's happy days. Always thought that it would be a better if adults have the teeth removed. False teeth would be a better investment. No more teeth problems. Dentists out at night, etc. Dentists. Of course, Big Kev. Of course. I insisted over here. I insisted the dentist remove the tooth. Insisted. I said it's broke. They wanted to fix the damn thing. It broke off on the gum. Back one broke off on the gum. They wanted to keep it. I was like, no, you're not keeping that. Take it out. No. Well, I tell you why they didn't want to remove it. When they remove it, there's no more money to be made. Not a penny more. Not a penny more. And they'll tell you, oh, you won't be able to eat any more steaks again. You won't be able to eat hard food. What? Because I got a tooth missing on the back. They were like, oh, give me all these sob stories about once his tooth's removed, I won't be able to eat steak. And I was thinking, oh, bugger off, I'll eat steak anyway. I'll just slip it down. Slip the damn thing down. I'll eat steak. You know me. Wet, slippery steak. But in all truth, I can still eat steak. Right, I gotta go, guy. I gotta read some more of these comments, but I've got to. There's a ton. There's loads. Mr. Nemesis is a new member of the channel. Hello, Mr. Nemesis. How you doing, my friend? My electric bill was £2,200. That is just like John. Lord's Brewing Company, John. You're as old as me. There was a time when we used to finance cars at that price. When I bought my first Audi, £3,000. And that was like over 3 years paying it back. And that was hell. Never mind 2,000 a month for electric. That's just the world's gone mad. The world has gone mad. Right, I've caught up with the chats. Cheers, everybody. Fun chatting. Big Kev, I'll remove my badge with a pliers. They want their money. They want their money. James W. Is that James what? My mining rig. Oh, he does 50 amps. Yeah, I hate teeth. Right. Let's have a lock in. It is nearly 10:10. It's been wonderful. It really has. It really, really has. We got more comments coming through. The world has definitely gone mad. It really has. It really has. Thank you all so very much for joining. John, Simon Wood, Big Kev, Paul, Mark, all of you. Christine, all of you incredible, incredible people out there. Thank you very much for watching tonight. I'm going to go take the dog out for a wee. I'm going to go and brush my teeth. I'll have a wee myself, and then I'm going to get myself to bed. But thank you all so very much for watching. It's been a real good night. I want to end it. I want to end this on how lovely. I know it sounds crap, doesn't it? But I want to end it this way. It might sound a little bit fluffy rabbit, rainbows, a bit like that. But I want to end it in this way. It's been lovely tonight. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. It's been lovely. It's been friendly. That's the biggest thing for me. It's been friendly. It's been lovely. I've enjoyed it. And thank you. Thank you very much. See you all next week. Stone the Crows!